My name is Carrie Brooks, and this is our son, William Brooks, my husband and I. This is our second son, Will. He was born May 5th, and Will has hypoplastic left heart syndrome, which means that he was born with half a heart. The right side of his heart developed, but the left side of his heart did not develop. We found out that Will was diagnosed with this when we were, I think, 21 weeks pregnant, and were referred to UAB, where we got the official diagnosis from the cardiologist there. He was born on May 5th, and he had his first open heart surgery on May 11th, which was the most intense of the surgeries. We had a couple of scares. He, after his, 6-hour surgery, they came out and told us that, he was fine, and that about an hour they would let us come back. Well, an hour passed. We never got to go back, and we found the social worker. Sorry. And she went back for us to find the doctor, and we were told that, thank you, he had severe internal bleeding in his stomach, and they didn't know why. And so right after having had that 6-7 hour open heart surgery that was severely intense, he had to have an emergency stomach surgery to find out where the bleeding was coming from. And he coded. They were able to revive him, and he made it through the surgery. He's one of the only ones that the doctors know of, and they researched from other hospitals too, that's ever had the Norwood, which was the name of the surgery. He had the first one, and then an abdominal surgery right after, and then of course survived it. So he's kind of a rock star in their minds. It's very common with kids that have congenital heart defects, especially severe ones, for some reason have feeding issues. Before the surgery, he was taking small amounts by bottle. And then, of course, after the surgery, it took a while for him to get back, but he was never able to take anything orally. So he gets everything through the feeding tube. And he initially had a feeding tube that went down his nose. And then we did have the G-tube surgery in August, but his stomach wouldn't tolerate feed on it at all at that time. He would throw everything up horribly and wasn't gaining weight. So we ended up having to get the feeding tube put back in his stomach, or put back in his nose to his intestine versus the stomach. He started growing again at that point, and then we got the G-tube feeding tube switched to what's called a GJ. So it's a double port. There's a port to his stomach, and then there's a port to his intestines as well. So he's now able to take all of his food. His stomach's tolerating better, and so we're able to give all of his food into his stomach port, and then he gets his medications through the intestine port because he still has problems throwing up, and we're afraid that if we do the medicine through the stomach that he'll throw up all of his medicine that he needs. Lucinda works a lot, our physical therapist, on strengthening his core. She has a very energetic personality, and she's very good with Will, and she can get him to do things sometimes that I can't get him to do, and perform for her that he doesn't necessarily always perform for me. He can get kind of stubborn and get tired and burn out very easily, but she pushes him and gets him to perform things that he doesn't necessarily always do for his mommy. Having a kid with any type of health issues is extremely challenging and can be very isolating at times. But it's great to have the resources in the community and be able to have them come into the home. His immune system is very weak because of his heart condition, and so it's great to have this resource where they can actually come into your home and do the services instead of having to take him out into the community. And the people are just amazing. I mean, they're very nice. They become more than just, you know, somebody who works with your kid. So, you know, don't be afraid to ask for help, or look into different resources, and you're your best advocate for your child. You know your child better than anybody, and fight to get what your child needs for him or her to grow.